Hi, I'm Kathy Pazinski. I'm here at the Prairie Grass Nature Museum. Now that it's winter outside and snowy, it doesn't seem to be very much going on, but there are some animals that you can still observe, and one of those is the squirrel. There are three different types of squirrels. There are ground squirrels, tree squirrels, and flying squirrels. All of those are common in this area. I'm going to talk today about tree squirrels mainly. There are two types of tree squirrels that are in this area, box squirrels and gray squirrels. Box squirrels are ones that are tan. They have a reddish tan belly. They're a little larger than the gray squirrels. The gray squirrel is gray but can also be white or black in its coloring, but it's still considered a gray squirrel. Gray squirrels have a white belly. Squirrels live in the hickory, oak, woodlands. They like to live where there are lots of trees. That's where they like to make their nests and raise their young. They like nut trees because they are nut eaters for part of the year, and that gives them protection from predators as well. Gray squirrels, like this one here, have a long body, and their tail is almost equal to half their length. Their tail is very useful. Their tail is used for locomotion. It helps them to balance in the trees. It is used for communication in between different squirrels. There's a way they hold their tails, kind of like dogs do, for communication. And it also is insulation. In the wintertime, when they curl up, it helps to keep them warm like a blanket. In the summertime, it actually helps them to cool off in hot weather. Squirrels have large eyes, you can see here, and their vision is almost like a horse. The eyes are so much on the side of their head that they can see in the front and almost completely behind themselves, which gives them a way to watch out for predators in the woodlands. Their feet, it's hard to see, but they have very, very sharp claws, kind of like a cat, that allows them to grip the bark and climb up and down the tree so easily. In the spring and summer, the squirrels eat the buds from maple trees. They eat flowers. In the summer, they eat fruit. They might eat mushrooms and insects, almost anything that they can eat. In the winter and fall, it changes, and that's when they start eating the nuts, when the nuts are ripe, and they start caching their food for winter. Squirrels bury hundreds and hundreds of acorns and nuts to help last them through the winter. It's kind of funny how they can find them. They used to think that they had to memorize where they kept all those nuts, but the truth is they actually use their sense of smell. Their sense of smell is how they find their nuts. And they might dig up nuts that somebody else buried, but because all the squirrels bury a lot of nuts, they all have enough to eat. There you have these are hickory and acorn nuts. Here are some hickory and acorn nuts that the squirrels like to eat. This is a squirrel skull. You can see it has those long teeth, kind of like a rat or a beaver. Their teeth grow all the time. They have to chew on things to keep their teeth from growing too long. They have very large orbital spaces for their very large eyes. Their vision is not as good as other animals, but their eyes are big enough. They see about as well as humans, but they have a better range of vision. Squirrels, as I said, live in wooded areas, and they have a range of from 1 to 7 acres, but some people have studied them and found that they might travel as far as 20 acres in their area if there's enough tree canopy for them to travel within there. Squirrels are very social. Sometimes they nest together for warmth in the wintertime. They chase each other. Just like chickens and horses have a pecking order in their herd or group, squirrels have the same thing in their neighborhood. Their areas where they live overlap many squirrels, but certain squirrels are dominant over others. So if you see squirrels chasing each other in the yard, the one doing the chasing is dominant, and the other one is submissive. And if he catches him, they'll wrestle, and maybe the dominant squirrel will bite the other one, and then they part ways and go about their business. Squirrels have 2 litters a year. They mate in the wintertime and have an early spring litter, and then they'll mate in the summertime and have a fall litter. The litters are born 44 days after the mating, and the mother takes care of the young. They nurse on the mother's milk. They don't eat food until they're older, 5 weeks old, I guess. They can get out of the nest and they start scavenging for their own food. And then when the mother mates and gets ready for a new litter, those squirrels go out and go make their own home somewhere in a new area. In the winter time, squirrels don't hibernate. That's why they're fun to watch in the winter. They cache their food. They grow more fur. They put on a lot of weight. In the fall, the squirrels get very chubby, you might notice. That helps them to last through the winter. When it's unseasonably cold, then the squirrels will go in their nest and maybe stay for a few days, up to 2 weeks if it's really, really cold, just conserving energy, staying warm. They might lose some weight, but they won't starve because they can get out and get food as soon as the weather gets a little better. The life expectancy for squirrels is only about 1 year in the wild. They are in captivity, live 2 to 12 years and maybe even 20, but in the wild there are many predators who chase squirrels. Foxes, raccoons, different types of hawks, owls will all chase and take down the squirrel population. They also get hit by a lot of cars. So thank you for listening to this little talk about squirrels. If you'd like to know more about squirrels, this book I found has a lot of great information about squirrels and other animals that might live in your backyard or in an urban area. And I also would recommend this Peterson Guide to Urban Wildlife. Thanks for listening today and enjoy your squirrel watching. A hawk just landed in the tree out there.
Where?
Just to the upper left of the sign.